Market meltdown. Monsieur Sarkozy beats Brussels to Beijing. And an update on IPOs. The Shanghai Composite closed below 5,000 on November 22 for the first time since late August and ended today at 4,958.849, off almost 1,000 points since the start of this month. My prediction of 4,600 for the index at the start of the new year is close at hand. The story is the same for all shares. The CSI 300 closed at 4,800 November 26, back to levels last seen at the end of August. B shares are equally battered. Shanghai Bs closed under 325 Monday, wiping out months of gains. Shenzhen Bs ended at 663 at the start of the week, taking the index back to early July levels. A more volatile profile has emerged for Shenzhen Bs, reflecting the lack of solid fundamentals in the much smaller Shenzhen exchange. In nearby Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index recovered well on Monday, gaining over 4% to close at 27,026.62 after a sharp slide last week, and the index is still well below the end of October peak. As for the individual investor initiative out of mainland China, Beijing's man in Hong Kong, Donald Tsang, was quoted last week as saying that Prime Minister Wen Jiabao told him, Tsang was in Beijing for his annual summit, that the program will move forward cautiously and pragmatically. What else would you expect from Beijing? But gave no timetable. Tsang's talks in Beijing also gave the go-ahead for further renminbi business in Hong Kong, where the yuan is already circulating as a reserve currency. It's summit season in Beijing, and apart from local dignitaries such as Hong Kong Chief Executive Donald Tsang, the Chinese capital is currently host to an important European Union-China summit. The EU is expected to come down hard on Beijing and try to force the Chinese to bargain over runaway exports, currency appreciation, product safety violations, and other politically useful topics. But before the ministers even assemble at the table, the EU position may be undermined by French President Nicolas Sarkozy's France First summit with Chinese counterpart President Hu Jintao this Monday. In a showy signing ceremony befitting two civilizations that revel in theatrics, Sarkozy and Hu revealed commercial deals for France worth tens of billions of euros. The list of recipients reads like a who's who of important state-owned French conglomerates. Energy giant Areva will sell China 2 atomic reactors and over a third of its production of uranium pellets. Alstom, Alcatel-Lucent, Suez, Électricité de France, and Airbus will all get big new contracts that will share French technology and create growing bonds between the two countries. Monsieur Sarkozy called China a great global power and essentially trumped whatever cards the EU had for its 10th China summit. According to its filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Sinomania Real Estate Company Limited, incorporated in the Cayman Islands but operating in China, plans to offer 17.5 million American depository shares, representing 2 common shares, priced between $13 and $15 US per ADS. The listing is approved for the New York Stock Exchange under symbol XIN. The company hopes to raise around $225 million US. Sinomania focuses on residential real estate in more developed cities in China with strong growth. Typical property developments are Hong Kong-style high-rise communities with retail shopping, parks, and even schools. China EDU Corporation has filed with the SEC in America for an IPO of over 6 million American depository shares priced at $10 to $12 US each. The listing will be on NASDAQ with symbol CEDU. China EDU is the biggest online education service provider in China, an area of potentially explosive growth, so one to watch. China's Sunshine Paper Holdings Company wants to raise around $95 million US with an IPO on Hong Kong as soon as December 12. The shares will be valued at 575 to 745 Hong Kong dollars, and the money will be used to expand production of linerboard, a more high-end component of corrugated packaging. Finally, on China's domestic markets, regulators approved the Shanghai A-share IPO of China Shipping Container Lines. Through an offering of almost 2.5 billion A-shares, the company could raise $1.6 billion US. Republican Senator Trent Lott of Pascagoula, Mississippi, an almost 20-year veteran of the U.S. Senate and once the majority leader, announced unexpectedly that he will resign. Speculation is that he wants to avoid new laws coming into force that restrict former elected officials from becoming lobbyists. When you consider Mr. Lott's tireless efforts to get his hometown's shipyards business to build destroyers and submarines for Taiwan, it will be interesting to see if he registers as a foreign agent sometime before Taiwan President Chen Shui-bian's election next spring. I'll see you next time.